Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the M.O.B podcast. How's everybody doing today? What's going on, Torture? How you doing today, brother?
Yer, what up?
Hey. All right, y'all. So y'all know what it is. You know, it's your boy DK, a.k.a. Mr. Black Sheep himself. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host here, Torture. And we're here to talk about some shit today. You know, we got a lot of things to talk about. This week was a very interesting week in terms of recent events and what's been happening and all that. So we got quite an episode, a lot of shit we want to talk about. But you know, before we get into the seriousness and the nitty gritty, Torture, how was your week, brother?
It was just a standard week.
Okay.
You know, nothing wild, nothing crazy. You know, boss ain't breathing down my neck. You know, nothing really note to mention. Some things did happen that I can't talk about right now, but I can, announce as the time comes. So, always trying to make moves and whatnot. But, just it's a normal grind.
Okay, I respect that. You know, As far as myself goes, man, it's been a week. It's been a challenging week. A lot of a lot of annoyances going on. A lot of situations where I'm kind of doing more than I feel like I should be doing, which
Right.
is a good and a bad thing. It's good because come time when I renegotiate certain things, I should be in a better place to get what I want, but it is a little frustrating
Definitely.
just because of the fact that um, sometimes I think to myself like, yo, y'all supposed to be the big people in charge. Y'all supposed to be the ones doing all this elevated shit. I got brought on to do this role in particular. Let me do this role. Let me handle this. So
Exactly.
it's not, and I get it,
Exactly.
with COVID going on and with the fact that it's just
Well, I mean, it's almost like it's one of those situations where you got hired as the pizza delivery guy, but now all of a sudden you're running the kitchen and you're delivering pizza.
pretty much,
Like, you're doing the cooking, you're doing the cleaning, you're doing the prepping, you're doing the ordering, you're doing, you're running the
yeah.
like, and at that point, right? Because that's happened to me in the past, and really come to find out, it was just my coworkers taking advantage of my work ethic.
Mm.
Right? Because I was raised as keep your nose to the grindstone and put in a hard day's work and this and that. And I mean, you know me. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, but eventually I found out that because I was like, yo, why the hell is everyone so goddamn lazy? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I the one always doing this and that and blah 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 and motherfuckers go out on a smoke break for like 20, 30 minutes and I'm over here like still doing like,
Yeah,
bro,
I
like,
hate that.
yeah. At one point, I was like, nah, they're just trying to take advantage of me. They are just being lazy.
That's what it sounds like, shit. And I wouldn't be surprised either. Don't give me 1 second. Let me raise the volume on my microphone. That should be a little better. So yeah, this, you know what? Before we get into the main topic of today's show, there was a situation that came up, Jake, and I don't even know if you know about this, but have you ever heard of the rapper, brief rapper, and actress Aquafina?
Yes, she
Yes.
actually has a TV show on HBO Max that's not half bad.
Okay, so your honest opinion, how do you feel about her? So like from what you've seen.
I Aquafina is funny. I don't know anything about her. I've only seen her content.
Mm-hmm.
I saw little like clips of her here and there, like doing little interviews on YouTube and whatnot. She's definitely trying to push a. I don't want to say. Actually, let me not say that because it will sound bad. But she's definitely trying to bring Asian culture right into the mainstream,
Okay.
and which there's nothing wrong with that,
Right.
because as representation to American standards have been whitewashed, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
And so whenever everything that like when you look at her portfolio, she has her own TV show, which is I mean it's centric around her, but her personal setting is Asian culture. She
Mm-hmm.
has the movie Raya and the Last Dragon, that
Oh,
which
she was
was
a dragon,
heavily
right?
influenced by, yeah,
I still haven't seen that
she
movie.
was, and that was
But go
heavily
ahead.
influenced by. It wasn't bad. It wasn't
Okay.
bad. That's heavily influenced by Asian culture. She's in Crazy Rich Asians, that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's definitely, you can get a good idea of her, like just like what she's about right from the get go. So
Okay.
from the outside looking in, it seems like she's doing fine. I don't know. Like I didn't hear anything about her. Like, what was she like caught in a scandal or something? Or
Jay Groton, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? Thank you for coming through and watching us on
hey, what up,
Twitch. Thank you,
James?
thank you.
Yeah, that's the homie right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember James coming back. Let me move this chat box real quick because it's right over your face. Yeah, she is gonna be in the new Shang-Chi movie as well. So there's
Okay.
that. Yeah, she's like the supporting like friend actress. So she plays a major role in the movie. You know how like Peter Parker has like his little fat friend, and
Right. Right.
yeah. I'm just saying, how he has that like, and Iron Man's got like Pepper and the assistant and
What
all
an
that stuff,
identifier. But
you know.
yes, yes.
So yeah, what's gonna happen is Aquafina's gonna be in the new Shang-Chi. She's gonna be probably the comic relief buddy and all that other stuff. But the reason why I bring up Aquafina is because recently she's been buzzing on Twitter, social media in general, because people are. I want to say she's the next target of cancel culture. People have been trying to, maybe not necessarily cancel her, but they have been trying to hold her accountable, because a lot of people believe that she has her claim to fame is utilizing AAVE, which is
I don't know what that is.
okay. So you know what? And let me pull up the exact
Asian American.
No. It's African American.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pull it up specifically. Just wanted to make sure because but it's African American vernacular English, right? And
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that just another way of saying Ebonics?
It's different. All right. So it's similar, but it's different. All right. African American vernacular English or black scent, right? And basically there's a couple of scenes where people say that like they believe that Aquafina's main claim to fame, how she got funny or how she became famous for being funny, was utilizing black mannerisms, the slang, vernacular English, whatever. And I'm not gonna sit here and give like a super big history on AAVE, but it stems from slavery, and then it's evolved into what it is today, right? But it's a integral part of black culture, and people have been feeling as though she has been utilizing that to become famous and been appropriating that, culturally appropriating that. So yeah, I have seen, and there are some examples, and you know what, I'm gonna pull up one in particular, and then you can see what they're talking about.
No, I can kind of see it. I can like thinking back to what I've seen her in.
So I'm gonna pull up this. Let me go to this scene, and I'm gonna pull up this scene, and you can see exactly what it is I'm talking about. Fair use, y'all.
Wait, what? Was she like, you will never be good enough for my son? Or was it like, you will never be good enough for my son?
It's like the second one, except for in a way that made me want to like cry and puke at the same time.
Gosh, she's so badass. I bet if you told her you'd leave Nick for like $1 million, she will write that check. They do that around
here. I wish I could pull the exact clip. It's on Twitter, but I didn't want to go through Twitter.
Like a $10 million check.
On here because there's too much fuck shit on Twitter.
I don't even know what I should do. I mean, I can't even tell Nick because he like worships her.
Yeah, Chinese sons think their mom's fart Chanel No. 5.
Let's see.
What about the ama? She hate your face too?
Okay, nobody said they hated my face. And Amma, she liked my face. She said I had a lucky nose.
That's great. Eleanor can hate you all day long, but
I think it's right here.
No, chickens are bitches, dude.
Yeah, right here.
I'm not a chicken.
You're not a chicken. You gonna roll up to that wedding and you gonna be like, bok, bok, bitch.
Bok, bok, bitch.
Chickens are bitches.
So, what did you think about?
I think it's reaching because it's not a mystery that's just like sometimes how just people talk. Like, I mean, I don't think she's trying to channel like black energy. Like,
and this may not necessarily
be that way. Like,
this may not necessarily be the best clip either. There are other clips. I just didn't want to like sit here and talk too much about her.
Right.
I'm just bringing her up because it's gonna lead to what we're gonna talk about in a couple of minutes here. But yeah, apparently a lot of people just feel some type of way about her. And from what my research I've done, I don't necessarily feel like she's trying to utilize AAVE to become whatever. But to me, it did bring up a question that I wanted to ask people. Because a lot of times people say things like, you ever heard the expression "talking white"? Right.
Right.
We associate talking white with like proper articulation and speaking eloquently and just being able to like not use broken English. That's considered talking white to some people. And I feel like a lot of people, rightfully so, should have an issue with that phrase because it's like intelligence, proper articulation, all those qualities aren't inherently white. So why would the over exaggeration, like the bark bitch and the moving the head or whatever, why would all that be considered talking black or black accent? So that led me to creating a post, right? And because I've seen it a lot within the black community, and I just wanted to get people's opinions on the matter. So I'm gonna bring up the screen again. It's a fine line discussion, and for those of you guys who can see, I know my window is blocking You know, I'll block my face real quick so you can see everything. 1 second. Is it this one? Nope. It is this one. All right. So. Oh, nope. All right. Okay. So, fine line discussion, cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation. And I did a quick Google search. I picked a couple of different reference images, right? And as you can see here, we have a black woman who is dressing what people consider kawaii, which is a Japanese fashion, type of style. We have a Korean artist who's wearing dreadlocks. I forgot his name, and I'm not trying to put nobody on blast either. I'm just going to point out the reasons why the people have been
right. These
out,
are just
right?
examples.
These are just examples. I'm not trying to sit here and blast all these people because I don't necessarily think anybody did anything wrong in any of these pictures, or maybe they did. The point is, it's just up for discussion. So we got a guy who's wearing dreadlocks, right, in a hairstyle, K-pop artist, right. We have a model on a runway wearing Native American influenced fashion. And then we have Lizzo, who is using I forgot what this was for. I believe it was for like an album cover or song cover. But she's wearing like Indian or Hindu specific or Hindu inspired garments and clothing, right? So the reason and this is what I said. So and can I make this bigger? I can't make this bigger, but I will read it out for everybody. Let me take my screen away. There we go. You guys can see my pretty face. I said there has always been a blurred line between what is considered cultural appropriation and what is considered cultural appreciation. And as time progresses, it seems to get more and more out of focus. In today's society, as it pertains to black culture, because again, and we're talking specifically black culture. I know cultural appropriation and appreciation can be for anything, but I'm talking specifically black culture in this example. So in today's society, as it pertains to black culture, there are more and more instances arising where someone, usually a person of influence or a higher status, is being called out for appropriating some part of our culture in order to progress in their careers. My question is this: what is truly considered appropriation, and why does it only seem to apply to any other race besides our own, at least optically speaking, right? On one hand, we tell people that intelligence and eloquence isn't talking white. Yet we criticize others for using AAVE that is prevalent throughout social media or within certain communities and associate over-exaggeration or stereotypical verbiage as someone utilizing black scent or acting black. We incorporate certain cultures, media, fashion, tattoos, and cultural attributes all the same. Yet when some see another culture doing the same, some label them as appropriators. We have no respect for any... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me reread that. Yet when some see another culture doing the same, some label them as appropriators who have no respect for any cultural significance behind whatever it is they are utilizing. And then I basically opened it up for discussion. We welcome all respectful discord on this matter. So to paraphrase all that, and to give more like egregious examples, you got like Woe Vicky. Remember? I don't know if you know Woe Vicky. Or Danielle Bergoli, the Catch Me Outside chick. I know you remember her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a different chick. They're two different chicks, but they're the Catch Me Out. Oh,
right.
Scene. The Catch Me Outside girl, right? So they say that these people are appropriators, and I shared this in a lot of different groups, black specific groups, and I got a lot of different responses from it. Some were just flat out ignorant, like. It's
right.
I do find it funny when we try to hold meaningful discussions on certain matters. You have people who just, they're just like, oh my God, you don't know, and then you know what I'm saying? Like they just sit here and they go out of their way to be like ignorant about the shit. Like this is a conversation. It is a difficult conversation to have, but it's a conversation that we want to have because it's important, and two, I mean, if you don't try to educate others on why something may or may not be wrong, then you can't be bitching when people continue to do it, right? So,
right,
I just find it funny in that regard. But there were a couple of examples, and I'm gonna pull them up. But Jake, what do you think is the difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation? And then while you explain, I'm gonna look up some things.
I think it comes down to presentation, because you can tell when, or at least to me, right? It stands out to me that you can tell when somebody has respect for what they're, what whatever aspects of the culture they're utilizing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you can tell when someone's doing it just to look a certain way, or just to like how do I, like that one you showed of Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say that's appropriation. Granted, I don't know shit about shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that one to me looks like appropriation, because knowing Lizzo is a musical artist, and especially one that could be thrown into, hip hop. What does like Hinduism or uh Indian culture have to do with her music and hip hop and whatnot? You know what I mean? So like,
Okay.
from the outside looking in, yeah, just from the outside looking in, not knowing anything, right? It already seems like it just seems off.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems off. As opposed to, we see the Korean dude, uh, who has, he's wearing his hair a certain type of way. That more just seems like style. That doesn't seem like he's actually trying to uh, elevate himself using, some other culture's uh, identifiable like aspect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like that he just made a style out of his hair.
Mm.
And then you got, uh if we go back to that picture, the runway model with the whole, I mean, that's just fashion. Like, we all know, like, fashion shows and runway shows are just kind of wild just in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wouldn't know what to pull from that.
Mm.
But then I would say it would be hypocritical how, especially in the black community, that we really, 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 really like to appropriate Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for whatever reason, whenever someone brings it up about appropriating black culture, now all of a sudden it's a problem, right? It's almost like sometimes it's cherry picked. It almost seems like, how do I say? Like, it's just hypocritical, you know?
Mm.
And I mean, really, it's just kind of a lack of accountability. Like, oh, I
Mm.
can do this. When I do it, it's fine. But if anyone else does it, like, they don't get to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like,
I
there
understand.
this is a fine line discussion, because it really comes down to the individual. Like, how is
Subjective.
this individual presenting? Yeah.
Mm.
How is this
So,
individual presenting what they're doing?
so I put the question out there, right? Um, and I asked people basically to define the difference, right? So we had a couple of people who defined the differences within our page, our Facebook page, and there was one in particular that got
Right.
a lot of likes, and that's the one I'm going to read right now. It's from Roderick Von Hatton. He says appropriation is knowingly taking something significant from another's culture and not only passing it off as your own, but failing to credit the originators. In some cases, refusing to credit. Appreciation
Right.
is picking up something from another culture, but taking the time to learn about it thoroughly, crediting the originator, and respecting the thing in question. Then he said, bonus, sneak bitchery, which I thought was funny. Taking something from another,
That is
taking
pretty
something
funny.
from another culture and feeding into the stereotypes behind it and pretending you don't see the issue.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so that would be probably like the Woe Vicky and the Danielle Bergoli type, you know.
Right.
And then he says, personally, I think many black folks, and I can only speak for African Americans, feel as if the world has pilfered our goodie box for decades. Whenever we address it normally, we're argued down. So now I think the double standard appears to be so prevalent because people like our culture but don't really like us. So folks seem to have
Right.
adopted the if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander mentality. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm not saying it's right. It's just his observation. So first off, Roger Von Hatton, I do want to shout you out. I appreciate you being able to
Bro,
articulate
that was a
yourself.
really,
Yeah,
really good, yes.
really good,
Really good explanation.
really good explanation, and I think that's why it resonated with a lot of people. And to that, I want to say I agree with this definition. Actually, my thing is what I disagree with is how people, and when I say people, I mean us specifically, black people. We, you know, we take things and we just assume everything's appropriation when it's deriving from us. So,
Right.
and I am going to bring a little context into this guy with the dreadlocks because a lot of people in a lot of different other groups were, telling me about it. This guy is a K-pop artist, like a K-pop, singer or whatever.
Okay.
He's part of some K-pop band. They released a song where they were, I guess, that like reggae or like Caribbean vibes or something like that, Caribbean
Okay.
inspiration or whatever. So he specifically wanted a hairstyle that reflected like that reggae vibe, that reggae whatever aesthetic.
Okay.
And people were calling him out for cultural appropriation because he was utilizing Caribbean, whatever to promote not only promote him and his group, but to elevate him in the music scene, so to speak.
Gotcha.
So my thing is, I disagree with that because if someone's saying that he wants a reggae style, then isn't he already crediting, his inspiration behind his look?
Exactly.
According to this guy's definition, if that's what appropriate, like I could see, there are some instances of cultural appropriation, that are prevalent out there, but to me, the picture with the kawaii girl on the left and the picture of this guy on the right, they're both the same to me, right? She's not utilizing her own hair. I'm not trying to be fucked up, but she's not utilizing her hair. She's wearing a wig. Her aesthetic, her look is completely Japanese inspired, right?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's fashion. It's how she wants to look.
Right.
And I highly doubt that she's going around saying like, "Oh, this is my own style. I came up with this completely by myself. No other influence." Right. I highly doubt that she was saying something like that. So to me, they're both doing the same. Now, granted, I don't know this woman, and I'm not trying to say like, if anybody's watching this, don't sit here and try to like find this woman and tear her down for whatever reason. We're just using her image as a reference. This isn't,
Yes.
We're not even saying she's cultural appropriated or nothing like that.
Just for talking points.
It is just for talking points.
Anything about it.
I got to put that disclaimer out there because people on the internet are fucking weird, man.
Facts.
So again, to me, they're both showing the same thing. But if you go to different people, they would say different things. And I encourage everybody who's watching the podcast, either now or who watches it in the future, to go check out this discussion on our page because it is a good discussion to have. And there's a lot of back and forth going. There are some negative comments, some positive comments, but I just wanted to read the comment that got the most engagement, and then I'm going to leave that question out to everybody else to answer. So what do you think is cultural appropriation? What do you think is cultural appreciation? And, let us know in the comment section below how you feel about it. Let us know if you think we're wrong about something in particular, or educate us, Again, we're willing to, talk about it. And I think this is a discussion that should be had. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to today's main. I keep going to the wrong scene. My bad. I'm going to go on to today's main talking points, and that is power dynamics. All right. So a lot of shit has been going on in the Black social media sphere. Right. We've had some podcasts. We've had some influencers, some content creators coming under a lot of fire recently over some things that they may or may not have done. But again, we have people who are, coming forward, and we have in some cases, we have screenshots being brought forward. So before I even go into anything, Jake, when you hear the term power dynamics as it refers to dating or relationships or between the opposite sex, what do you think? How would you define that?
I associate it with the word abuse. Okay. If you have to bring up a power dynamic, then that already means there is a struggle between both parties to try and be on top, whatever that means in whatever context. And it can go both ways, like we quid pro quo. We heard that a lot in politics just recently.
Right.
You could really say that's just what politics is in general. It's just the constant power play. It's just, what can I do to gain power over this person, or what can I do for this person to get this so I can, do that, and yada 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 yada. So whenever I hear that term, I just automatically associate it with like just a lot of negative and a lot of
Mm,
unhealthy, a lot of just something I don't want to be a part of. You know
right,
what I mean? I don't have the I just don't.
right, right. Yeah, so I mean, I agree with you in that sense. When I think of power dynamics, I do think of abuse, specifically from a person who's in a position of power towards someone who doesn't necessarily have that power, right? And it could be
Right.
for it could be leverage, it could be blackmail, it could be enticing people with certain opportunities only if they do certain favors for you in return. Like you said, quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I scratch
Right.
your back type thing. But normally it's there's an imbalance in there as well because a lot of people like to assume that if I do something for you, you do something for me, then that's a
Mm-hmm.
equivalent exchange, right? But a lot of times it's not the
Right. Right.
case,
Right.
right?
Right.
In power dynamics, usually it's you do something for me, and yeah, I can elevate you, yeah, I can do whatever, but normally it costs you something significantly more, whether that's your like morality or your body, whatever. So that's what I think of when I think of power dynamics. Now, the reason I bring this up is because recently, and I don't know if you guys know about another podcast. You should. It's a very, very famous podcast. It's called the Fresh and Fit podcast. It's hosted by two guys, Walter Weeks, who's considered fresh, and Myron Gaines, who is fit, right? And these guys have recently been like blowing up on YouTube in general. They have they call themselves a red pill style podcast, where they teach men to navigate sex, finances, and fitness. Right. Try to teach men how to be better men. And recently they had these. So they have these other two, not podcasters but content creators, Abba and Preach, who are one of my personal favorite content creators on YouTube. Um, they were Abba and Preach criticized them for an opinion that they had on it was like selling pussy or something like that, or buying pussy or whatever, and it turned to a very big and drawn out beef. Now we have this video from Abba and Preach where they kind of go over it, but before we go into that, I'm gonna again break it down some more. Um, so Abba and Preach first made a video critiquing Fresh and Fit on a podcast that they were featured in. They were featured in a joint podcast. They talked about a couple of things. A subject of selling and buying pussy came up, right? And Fresh and Fit had the mindset of if you have to buy pussy, right? If you have to pay for sex, you're a weak man. You're blue pill. You're beta. You're all this other stuff, right? Women aren't gonna respect you, and they're only gonna want you for your money, okay? And Abba and Preach had the mindset of sometimes people who are in certain situations, whether they're a higher influence or whatever, they don't necessarily care. They don't necessarily want respect or whatever. Sometimes they just want to get a nut off, or they
Right.
want discretion. So they'll pay for something like an escort, because
Right.
one, they're discreet, two, they know what they're doing, and three, it's literally just for that one time. So
Right.
and then they said that they may not necessarily agree with it, but they understand. And then Abba and Preach made another video talking about that, criticizing Fresh and Fit for their opinion on that particular subject. And it was a fine video. I mean, sure, there was a couple jokes thrown in here or there, but overall, when you put something out on the internet, you're gonna get critiqued on it, regardless of who it's from. So
Right.
Fresh and Fit saw this video and they felt some type of way. They felt like, they said, one, oh, you guys could have said that on the podcast, which they did, but I don't know. They were like, you could have said something on the podcast. And two, like, why are you trying to sneak this us? Why are you trying to do whatever? Are you trying to do this for clout? Whatever, et cetera, et cetera. So they made this very distasteful video where they were basically saying Abba and Preach were only criticizing them or only made a video about them because they're what's popping right now. And while their show, the Fresh and Fit show, has more views currently, Abba and Preach are the bigger platform. I believe Fresh and Fit have somewhere around 300 to 400,000 subscribers, and Abba and Preach have like 1.5 or something like that, or 1.4 million subscribers, right? So Fresh and Fit were insinuating that, oh, you guys are making irrelevant content, so you just wanted to get some views, so you wanted to, bash on us. And not only did they say that, right, which, you can feel how you want to feel about that, but the main point of contention is Preach, who in this video you're about to see, he's the shorter one with the braids or the dreads.
Okay.
They talked about the dude's wife, and they brought up the dude's country. They brought up Haiti, and if y'all don't know, Haiti just got hit by it was like a magnitude 7 earthquake or something like that. So Haiti is actually
that is
really going through some shit. Last time I saw, it was like 1,300 people dead, 5,000 plus people injured, and that's as of right now. As they uncover people and go through the rubble or whatever, it'll probably be a lot more. Haiti's really going through some shit right now. So,
God damn.
Yeah. So they were saying a lot of shit, and that's the context going into this video you guys are about to watch. So let me go ahead and switch this over. And the guys on the screen right now are Abba and Preach. All right. So the title of this video was "Fluke and Fraud Try to Apologize. This is your king."
Today's topic: the boys over at Fresh and Fit decided to stop screaming.
Fair use.
And posted something on their community page as an apology. Fresh and Fit, we apologize to our supporters.
All right, so I stopped this because I do want to bring up one more thing. These guys were, so not only, they were receiving a lot of hit, the Fresh and Fit podcast, after this very distasteful video was released, right? They tried to delete the video, or they did delete the video, but once it's on the internet, it's on the internet.
Exactly.
So they deleted the video, and then they tried to backpedal once they started losing subscribers. I believe they lost something along the lines of like 50,000 subscribers from this incident. Woo! And originally they sent out this apology, and they apologized to everybody but the person who they attacked, which is hilarious. But let's keep going.
From this point forward, we are not going to engage in any beef. We are here to help you guys navigate women, fitness, and finances, not drama. We're going to keep giving you guys the content you subscribe for. We apologize for deviating, but we're back on track. Men already get attacked enough in the space, and we are not going to contribute to it.
Pissed, man.
Best of luck to Abba and Preach in their future endeavors. See you guys tonight for.
All right, and real quick before we continue on, the reason why they kind of apologize and the reason why they're receiving a lot of heat, right? On the Fresh and Fit podcast, they were like, "Yo, we'll beat your ass." They told Abba and Preach, like, "We'll beat your ass." So they were like, "Oh, your wife's a beluga whale," or some type of weird shit to Preach. They were making fun of her, mocking her, doing like really childish type comedy.
That is fucking wild.
They were like, "Yo, come to Miami. If you want to talk shit, come to Miami. We'll beat your ass. Yo, we'll box. We'll do whatever." So in a video before this, Preach was just like quiet. So he had the camera. And then he was like, "You know what? Let's do this." And he was dead ass. He was like, "I'm going to be in the U.S. next week. I will stop by in Miami. So get the gloves, do whatever. But I'm going to fight you." He said his exact words were, "I'm going to fight one bitch, and then I'm going to fight another bitch." He said he'll fight both of them. And what they don't know about these two individuals in particular are that they both served in the military, the Canadian military for one.
Okay.
Specifically for Preach, not only did he serve in the Canadian military, but he used to be a fighter and he used to be a bouncer. So these dudes basically made threats, and they tried to write a check that their asses couldn't cash. And sure enough, when they found out about the context, that's when they started backpedaling. They were like, "Oh, wait, we're sorry. We're not going to engage in this beef. We're not going to do et cetera. Yo, that's a bitch move. Y'all are some bitches. That ass. That's some bitch shit. Let's continue. I'm going to drop my phone.
Fresh and Fit after hours. What do you think about their apology?
They apologized to their supporters. He didn't apologize to me or my wife. From my country.
Later that same evening.
Real quick, guys, okay? Because I know this is probably on everyone's minds. We already got 6,000 plus live viewers. So thank you so much for coming in.
Only been 4 minutes.
Yeah, seriously, within 4 minutes. So, guys, we'll go talk about this real fast. On this podcast, we talk about accountability, okay?
Yeah.
And we are not above taking accountability. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, we made a mistake, okay? It is not cool to insult a man's country and or wife live on air. We should have kept the disagreement on the topic and not the people.
Yep.
Okay? Smart people discuss ideas, stupid people discuss people. And we made a mistake, all right? So with that said, we apologize, okay, for talking about his wife, his country, and making ad hominem attacks on them. They're fellow YouTubers. If we have disagreements, we're going to have disagreements, but the way we went about it was not right, okay?
Yeah.
So we got to hold ourselves accountable as well. And from this point forward, we're bearing the hatchet. We wish the best to Abba and Preach.
Yeah, the best, man.
We're going to keep making content, giving you guys what you want, and we're going to stay away from the drama.
That being said, the
Man
boxing
is not blinking.
You got our number. Hit us up on the side. You know where we're at. We're in Miami, so let's do it.
Yeah.
You didn't even do that. You proposed a fight.
Let's pause this. So
They're not gonna do it. They're
do you
not
see
going
how-
to do that.
You see how humble they got from that
Bro,
apology
there was so much
humble,
bitch in
right?
his voice when he
So
was
much-
saying that.
listen,
there was so much bitch. in
Keep
his
that in
voice.
mind though, with the energy that they displayed earlier, right? And then this screenshot right here,
Okay.
this is from Fresh Prince CEO, the not the guy who apologized, but the guy who's like, yeah, if you guys want to box,
Okay.
the Fresh, all right. He put on his Instagram story. He said, first he commented on the video. And he said, y'all are bums. My stories don't make sense to you because you don't live a life like me and never will. It's fine though. Video dropping on Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. Then he said, not boxing for free and 20K is peanuts. If you really care about your audience, let's set up a live event. But Abba is scared. So before they apologized, they were basically trying to say that Abba was scared because Abba wasn't trying to fight. Right? Abba is the guy in the blue. Okay? Abba wasn't trying to fight.
Oh, gotcha.
And Abba
Abba's
was
blue,
like,
Preach is black.
yes. And Abba was like, I'm not trying to fight because I didn't, one, it's internet beef, but two, you didn't disrespect me. You disrespected the homie. So he was like, you disrespected his wife. You did whatever. He felt some type of way, as he should, and he said he'll address it. So why the fuck I gotta fight y'all? He said he'll take both y'all niggas on. So what y'all gonna do? And then it's crazy, man.
Talk shit. Then when the person accepted, you're like, I'll bring $500,000. I offered you $20,000 to just show up. Win or lose, you were going to get paid. Hand you the check beforehand. And you still cowered out talking about, no, we need to get promoters and all. These guys think everything is about money.
It's not about money.
And I'm going to say this to you guys.
Yeah, they
I don't
fucked
play
it
with
up. It's not
violence.
about money.
That's why you've never heard me and Preach come on here and say we would fight some people. You've never heard me and Preach go here, we would start some stuff. Because where we come from, we understand that's a real thing. You don't play with violence. You don't threaten violence. You don't encourage it. It's not something you take willy-nilly. Because do with the wrong people, and you'll get called for it. Y'all were the ones talking crazy. I'll box any of these guys. I'll do it. I'll do it.
And I beat both y'all niggas up too. If we really want to talk about that. You guys want to fucking box? I'll box both you motherfuckers too. Fuck out of here, man.
You guys were the one talking crazy. And that's how I know you guys are soft. You talked all that craziness trying to act out. Oh, hold me back. Nobody's holding you back. Preach said he would take both of you guys because he feels some type of way. And you still got nothing to say.
Exactly.
Hey, and Preach, I guarantee your wife is probably ugly. I said it.
Yo,
And you gave her a ring pop and you licked her at your fucking wedding.
we should fly her
You
up, bro.
fucking weirdo.
Hey, yo, we should fly her up.
Guarantee her. Flued out. You may kiss the bride. This dumbass nigga. I love you. I love you. You making them dumbass faces. We fucking help guys make money. We help guys get in shape. We help men improve. What the fuck are you dumbass niggas doing behind your shitty ass road shotgun mic?
Yo, chat. Put a one in the chat if you agree with us.
Yo, real talk,
Simple as
man.
that.
Y'all niggas, I could tell you niggas stink from the fucking video I'm watching right now. Y'all be sweating in the fucking studio. Yo, and y'all standing mad awkwardly close to each other, talking to that shitty ass mic. Hey, what you take on this, Preach? I don't know. The fuck, man?
You got one in the
Nigga sound
chats.
like Clifford, bro.
You got one in the chats.
Oh, God.
Y'all don't want it with us. We will roast you guys.
Yo, shout out to the Fresh Fit fam, by the
You
way.
guys are not as charismatic as us.
Yeah.
You guys were.
Yo,
They really thought this was just gonna be internet beef.
Yo.
They really thought.
You see how hot and heavy he was talking, bro? That's the thing that bothers me. He was talking hot shit, running his mouth, and in a minute, Preacher's like, "All right, I'll be there." So he was like, "Say less." He's like, "Say less. I'm gonna be there next week. I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna beat the other nigga ass, and then that's gonna be it, bro." And then so they went from that to what you saw earlier, which was, guys, we have to take accountability. On this podcast, we like to teach. No, you're a bitch. Both y'all. Straight pussy. I'm sorry.
Repeated it multiple times when you thought you were on top, right? Because y'all got more views, right? So you better and all that stuff. When you got the more power, the perceived perception of that, you want to talk all crazy. And now all of a sudden, when you realize that power's not there, now you want to act a little bit humbled.
It's too late now.
You want to see someone's character, give them power, and then watch how they treat the less fortunate, and you go understand how they move. Y'all never see me talk to somebody with low subscribers like they're trash or they're riffraff. Never. I've never done that. I do IG lives every day. Every day people show up, and I have long.
And I can attest to this. I've watched Alvin preach religiously for like a year and some change now, probably 2 years. They're really good content creators. And they talk about a bunch of different things, you know. So sometimes they talk about the relationship, the red pill, whatever type shit. But they talk about social issues. They recently had a video where they were talking about like the vaccination, you know, discussion or whatever. So they talk about a multitude of different things. And these guys are really just here to have like respectful discord in regards to whatever topic it is they're talking about. But they're both comedians, so they have an element of charm and they're funny. Okay. So that's why they've built their platform to what it is today. And a lot of people just like these two guys because of who they are, how they present themselves. Right. And like he said, you know, there's always been an element of integrity in regards to sometimes they say some shit. They'll have a video. I don't necessarily agree with it, but at least they present it in a way where I can say, I don't agree with you, but I understand and I respect your opinion. You know? Right.
Conversation. I don't care because it's not about that. But these guys, you see what they're about. And now they want to charge $2,000 for courses, meet and greets, all this other nonsense while they're lying and faking their whole lifestyle. Nah, I got people in my DMs, other creators that maybe we handle this behind. Why would I handle it behind the scenes? You think I want to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody who doesn't believe in the things that they're saying?
You were loud about it. Why do I have to be private? You were loud about this, all of this. You were loud about me. You were loud about my wife. You were loud about my country. You were loud about boxing. I didn't bring this. You did. You were loud about it.
You handle it in public?
Why would I do it in private?
There you go. There you go.
You brought that.
There you go.
When you open your mouth. When you open your mouth, there's consequence to open your mouth like that. That's what real men do. What did you say? You said I was 40? Exactly. Back in my day, you could open with that. You could open your mouth like that and say stuff like that to people because it might happen. You can't do that. In prison, you can't talk shit like that. If you talk shit about the guard, they're going to ask you to do something about it. Now you were extra loud. Extra loud. You want to talk loud and be extra? Be real about it. There's always going to be a motherfucker that's going to be realer than you. Always. Know that. You want to do this? I was right here. I'm still here.
You know what they said?
Oh, I'm going to be here. You
know what they said? They said, why would we do a 2 versus 1? That doesn't make sense.
No, I'm going to take one bitch and the other bitch. You guys are 2 bitches. Twin sisters. That's your new name. Not Fresh and Fit. Twin sisters. Let's go.
These guys changed their tune once they saw subscribers going down. That's how you know they lack principle. They're so caught up in numbers. They changed what they said. They deleted their videos. They deleted everything, right? Just because they lost subscribers.
All right, guys. I'm going to stop it here because I don't want to get too far in the video. But as you can see, we have this situation, right? So how does this play into power dynamics? Well, you can see how these guys changed up. These guys are in a position right now with where they're people of influence, right? They got a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers. They're getting a lot of money from their podcast. And they felt some type of way. They were challenged on their opinion. And rather than not even attacking, but rather than rebuttaling their opinions, rebuttaling the things that were the criticisms that were being thrown at them, they decided to throw ad hominem attacks at, Preach and Abba specifically. And, he said, what did Fresh say? He said, smart people attack the argument, stupid people attack people, right?
He said, smart people discuss ideas, stupid people discuss people.
Okay, there we go, right? So, I mean, I don't understand how
Eleanor Roosevelt.
I don't understand how people follow these individuals. I mean, don't get me wrong. Their podcasts are entertaining. They got a lot of very attractive women on there. They bring up statistics or whatnot, but they do, what's the word? If you watch it, you'll see the issues with the Fresh and Fit podcast. And I'm not going to sit here and keep going in on it because the point of this video isn't necessarily to talk specifically about the Fresh and Fit podcast because we do have some other things we got to talk about. But again, once they started seeing their power getting put into question, right? The subscribers getting lost, their public image and their reputation getting tarnished, right? They changed their whole appeal, right?
Right.
That's
right.
that's an issue. Okay, especially for people who are trying to frame themselves as leading men down the right path of becoming better men, and being able to navigate through navigate through finances and women and all this other stuff. Don't take any relationship advice from these people. Plain and simple. All right.
Right. They already exposed themselves.
They already exposed themselves.
They
might have
what
some
I've
quality
noticed-
content in regards to like the finances portions. And maybe in quality content in regards to promoting your platform. And they do have those accolades, and you can't take that away from them. But in regards to like being better men, whatever, you saw for yourselves. So don't.
I mean, they went back on their entire theme. Is they said they create men of value, and a person of value, like not even a man of value, just a person of value, isn't going to backtrack. Like they're not going to flip their game like that. They're not
going
to
to even be put in that situation in the first place, because don't get me
That
wrong,
too.
everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is fallible. So I'm not trying to sit here and say that, they made this one mistake, let's go ahead and crucify them. This is not the issue. It's the extent
This was
and
pretty
how
big.
it's
Even
the
if this
extent of
was
what they
the
did.
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the extent of what they did, and then how they decided to go about it afterwards, right? Again, you disrespecting the man's wife for no reason. The woman had nothing to do with the situation at hand. She had nothing to do with whatever. Why would you? It's not like they disrespected your, wife or your girls or whatever like that. So why would you even bring her up in the first place? That's one thing. That's high key disrespectful. Two, you ran your mouth and said you beat their ass, yo. Like, I don't know, like he said, I don't know what y'all was raised on, but I'm the type of person where you could talk all the cash money shit you want to talk. The minute somebody says they're gonna beat my ass, I'm like, oh really? I'm like, what's up? I'm like, well, yo, it's no more talking. Either you're gonna beat my ass or you're not. Plain and simple. I automatically go from like whatever to like, oh really? That's how you feel? So what we need to do? So the fact that you was running your mouth and talking about you gonna beat their ass, and then the dude accepted, and then you was like, oh wait, you know what? This man actually, he was in the military. This man used to box. We was talking shit, talking about promoting this and that. And now we finna get our ass beat. I don't want to get my ass beat on camera.
He called my bluff.
Yeah. Y'all. Ooh.
He called my bluff. Damn it.
Hold on. Let me lower your volume. Is it your volume? Something's going on. You're a little cracky right now. Okay. I think that might be better. But anyway, yeah, it was just ridiculous. All right. So don't let power get to your head in that aspect. All right. And moving on to our last couple of discussions, and the fresh and fit is going to also bleed over into this next topic. But another element of power dynamics that we've seen a lot within this last week is people abusing their positions or their influence in order to gain, pussy or get with women, and specifically with the Fresh and Fit podcast, the reason why that whole beef even came to be, the Fit, the guy who was like, I'll take both y'all on, I'll beat both y'all ass. He got exposed for trying to leverage his podcast as a means to sleep with women, right? So he DM'd a woman, framed it as in the sense of, hey, we're gonna go and I want to collaborate with you. I want to bring you on the show and collaborate, right? And she's a content creator. She was a fitness content creator. And for those of y'all who want to know more about it, just literally go into YouTube, type in Fresh and Fit, and you'll see everything. I'm not gonna sit here and talk too much about that. But the point is, he hit her up in her DM, framing it as, hey, let's collaborate for work. Let's collaborate, for the podcast. And then when she was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Then he was like, oh, just letting you know, I don't collaborate with women unless I sleep with them. And she was like, wait, what? What are we talking about? And he was like, well, yeah, I only collaborate with women I'm dating. So, we have plenty of women in Miami, yada, yada, yada. So if you want to come on the show, you're going to have to date me and you're going to have to sleep with me. And then she was like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? You talking about collaborating for work. Now you're talking about collaborating and I have to have sex with you? Like, I don't need to have sex with you. I have my own platform.
To work with you.
Yeah, I have my own platform. Like, what is going on? And then he was basically like, yo, you slept with a lot of my friends, so I already know how you are and whatever. Dude, it was a terrible look. And then when she rejected him and she posted the screenshots, he decided to dox her, get his supporters to attack this woman and be like, yo, you know, this woman's a bitch, and he framed it as like she hit him up and was like, I want to be on your show. And when he was like, well, you know, it was very weird, man.
So this dude's
up.
just a clown, just
He's
all
a clown.
around.
Yo, he's a clown, man. He's a straight up clown, and he was using his
That's
position
ridiculous.
to try to get some pussy, right? It's
That's
ridiculous.
dangerous too, to have a platform of that kind of reach and knowing what demographic that they try to appeal
Hey,
to.
real quick, Jake. I don't mean to interrupt.
There's
Hold on. Your audio is coming through super choppy all of a sudden. Yeah, like it's like coming in super staticky. 1 second, let's see if we can fix this situation. It's like the situation where Otis kind of, you know, started chopping up out of nowhere.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Nothing changed on my end.
Yeah, real quick, just leave the Discord and hop back in, and let's see if that fixes anything. All right, y'all. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna continue to wrong scene. I'm gonna continue to talk about the situation that happened. Let's see. Say something. Yeah, no, it's still bad, dude.
What? All right. 1 sec.
Real quick, y'all. We're gonna have a brief intermission to see if we can fix these audio issues. We'll be right back. So let me go ahead and
always something.
It's always something. It's okay though. So let me throw on some nice little relaxation music. All right. Oh, you know what? I think it's coming from me. I might have to restart something, but it is what it is. Give me 1 second. Let me intermission screen. And we'll be right back. I'll give us like 5 minutes.
Check.